Tim McGraw, country music icon and celebrated actor, made a surprising and dramatic exit from the Kelly Clarkson Show during a live broadcast that stunned both the studio audience and viewers at home. What started as a routine interview discussing his latest album quickly spiraled into a fiery exchange between McGraw and Clarkson, leading to an intense confrontation that no one had expected. The tension between the two celebrities became palpable as the conversation veered into topics that both were clearly passionate about, but neither expected to escalate the way it did. The stage, usually filled with friendly banter and lively discussions, took on a noticeably different tone when Kelly Clarkson, known for her warm and relatable demeanor, began pressing Tim McGraw about some of his past remarks in interviews. It was an awkward moment when Kelly brought up McGraw's previous statements about his personal life, particularly some of his past relationships and his thoughts on the pressures of fame. It was clear that Kelly was attempting to dive deeper into McGraw's life offstage, but the questions started to feel more pointed than either anticipated. McGraw, always known for his charm and down-to-earth attitude, initially responded with humor, trying to lighten the mood. However, as the conversation continued, the questions began to hit closer to home, challenging his privacy and delving into more personal subjects that McGraw wasn't prepared to discuss in such a public setting. His smile faded slightly, and viewers could sense a change in his demeanor. Despite his usual grace under pressure, it became clear that the line between entertainment and personal boundaries was being crossed. Kelly Clarkson, too, seemed to feel the growing tension. Her attempt to defuse the situation by joking about the awkwardness only seemed to escalate the problem. McGraw, who had always been known for handling difficult interviews with professionalism, began to visibly withdraw, his body language shifting as the discomfort mounted. As Clarkson pressed on with her questions, McGraw's responses grew shorter and more measured. It was at this point that many watching felt the subtle shift from a friendly chat to an uncomfortable standoff. At the heart of the confrontation were McGraw's comments about balancing his family life with his career. Clarkson's probing questions about his family dynamics, particularly his relationship with wife Faith Hill and their children, seemed to touch a nerve. McGraw, who had always been fiercely protective of his family, began to show signs of irritation, which was unlike the calm and collected persona he typically presented. The line of questioning seemed more like an interrogation than a casual conversation, and McGraw made it clear that he wasn't comfortable with the direction the interview was taking. At this point, Kelly Clarkson attempted to lighten the mood by complimenting McGraw on his music and career achievements, but the tension remained thick, and it was clear that the interview had shifted. McGraw's smile returned, but it was strained, and his discomfort became evident. Despite Clarkson's attempts to steer the conversation in a more positive direction, McGraw seemed increasingly disengaged. The studio audience, sensing the shift in energy, fell silent, unsure of how to react to the unfolding drama. As the interview continued, Clarkson persisted in trying to guide the conversation back to lighter topics, but McGraw's frustration was impossible to ignore. He responded curtly, avoiding eye contact, and his tone became sharper. It became apparent that McGraw was not willing to participate in the direction Clarkson was pushing him toward. This subtle rebellion against the line of questioning felt like a tipping point, where McGraw's patience with the situation began to wear thin. The once playful atmosphere of the interview had turned cold. Eventually, McGraw's frustration reached the boiling point. In a surprising move, he stood up from his chair and began walking away from the set. Clarkson, caught off guard by his sudden departure, stood up in an attempt to salvage the moment, calling after him as the audience murmured in shock. The camera followed McGraw as he made his way off stage, leaving Clarkson momentarily speechless. What had begun as a light-hearted conversation had escalated into an unscripted moment that would be talked about for weeks to come. The studio audience was left in stunned silence as the cameras quickly cut to a commercial break, leaving viewers at home to process what had just occurred. While many fans expressed their shock on social media, others speculated about what had led to McGraw's decision to walk off the set. Fans of both McGraw and Clarkson were left grappling with the sudden shift in energy, questioning what had caused such a dramatic exit during a typically upbeat show. Social media exploded with reactions to the incident. Some fans immediately took McGraw's side, praising him for standing up for himself and walking away from an interview that had turned uncomfortable. Others criticized Clarkson for crossing the line and pushing McGraw too far with personal questions that seemed to encroach on his privacy. Both celebrities' followers flooded platforms like Twitter and Instagram with their opinions, sparking a massive debate about the ethics of celebrity interviews and the boundaries between public and private life. In the aftermath of the confrontation, the production team of The Kelly Clarkson Show quickly issued a statement, expressing regret over how the interview unfolded and assuring fans that it was not their intention to make McGraw feel uncomfortable. While the network attempted to downplay the situation, fans continued to share their thoughts online. Many expressed disappointment that an otherwise enjoyable interview had taken a sharp turn into tension. The episode, once anticipated to be another light-hearted segment, became the focal point of an intense conversation about media and celebrity culture. McGraw, in a rare move, addressed the incident in a post on social media. He briefly mentioned his frustration with the line of questioning but did not go into specifics about the confrontation. His statement was calm and measured, expressing his desire to maintain his privacy and respect the boundaries of his personal life. He emphasized that his decision to leave the interview was not a reflection of Clarkson personally, but rather a reaction to the type of questions he was asked. His fans rallied around him, supporting his right to protect his privacy. Kelly Clarkson, for her part, later addressed the incident on her show. She admitted to feeling caught off guard by McGraw's walk-off, expressing regret that the conversation had taken a negative turn. Clarkson, known for her emotional intelligence, acknowledged that she might have overstepped in her pursuit of deeper answers. She apologized to McGraw publicly, stating that she never intended to make him uncomfortable. This act of vulnerability was well received by many, but the tension of the moment still lingered in the public consciousness. As the story unfolded in the media, it became clear that this moment would have lasting implications for both McGraw and Clarkson. Fans and critics alike analyzed the confrontation in detail, dissecting every moment of the interview. It became evident that this was not just a celebrity squabble but a broader conversation about the expectations placed on public figures and the challenges of balancing personal privacy with the demands of a media-driven world. The fallout from the confrontation led to a large discussion about the role of celebrity interviews in the modern media landscape. Many viewers began to question whether the public had a right to know everything about the celebrity's personal life, or whether boundaries should be respected more consistently. This debate continued to play out across news outlets, social media platforms, and podcasts, as fans of both McGraw and Clarkson weighed in on where the line should be drawn when it comes to celebrity interviews. Tim McGraw's decision to walk off the set of The Kelly Clarkson Show also prompted discussions about the pressures that celebrities face in the media. As public figures, they are constantly asked to share intimate details of their lives, from relationships to personal struggles. McGraw's refusal to engage in such personal questions was seen as a powerful statement about the need for boundaries in celebrity culture. His exit from the interview became a moment of empowerment for those who feel that the line between personal and public should be more clearly defined. For Kelly Clarkson, the incident marked a moment of self-reflection. Known for her emotional openness and vulnerability, Clarkson was clearly taken aback by McGraw's response. In her subsequent interviews and statements, she emphasized the importance of learning from such experiences and growing from them. The incident highlighted how even the most well-intentioned and experienced hosts can misstep, but also how gracefully handling such situations can lead to personal growth. As time passed, the conversation around the confrontation started to shift from initial shock to deeper reflections on media ethics. Many began to consider the role of the interviewer in a celebrity's experience. While interviewers are expected to ask tough questions, they are also responsible for gauging the mood of their guest and respecting their boundaries. McGraw's walk-off sparked conversations about how interviewers can balance the pursuit of a good story with the need to protect the well-being of their subjects. Fans of McGraw and Clarkson continued to express their opinions, but the dust began to settle as both celebrities moved forward with their careers. McGraw returned to promoting his music and upcoming projects, while Clarkson focused on her own endeavors, including her successful talk show. The incident, though dramatic at the time, became just another moment in the long careers of both stars, yet it would forever be remembered as one of the most talked-about moments in daytime television. The clash between McGraw and Clarkson continued to generate buzz long after the original broadcast. Memes, commentaries, and debate videos filled social media platforms, keeping the moment alive in the public consciousness. The incident, despite its uncomfortable nature, became a viral sensation, demonstrating how powerful celebrity moments can become when they break away from the expected narrative. As McGraw continued with his musical career, the incident seemed to fade from the headlines, but the conversation around celebrity privacy and the ethical responsibility of media outlets remain relevant. Fans and industry insiders alike began to advocate for more thoughtful and respectful treatment of celebrities in interviews. McGraw's walk-off had inadvertently become a catalyst for a larger discussion about how public figures are treated by the media. The incident also sparked discussions within the entertainment industry about how talk shows should approach sensitive topics. Some suggested that interviewers should be more mindful of the mental and emotional toll that such questions can take on celebrities. Others proposed that talk shows should give guests more control over what topics are discussed, allowing them to opt out of uncomfortable conversations before they even begin. In the wake of the confrontation, there were some calls for changes in how celebrity interviews are conducted on daytime talk shows. Some industry experts proposed introducing guidelines for respecting personal boundaries and ensuring that guests are given the space to control the direction of their interviews. These suggestions sparked an important conversation about how the media industry can evolve to meet the needs of both entertainers and their audiences. Tim McGraw's walk-off, while dramatic, ultimately proved to be a catalyst for important conversations about privacy, respect, and boundaries in celebrity culture. The clash between him and Kelly Clarkson reminded audiences that celebrities are people too, with their own limits, and that those limits should be respected. It also highlighted the power of media to shape public perception, especially when moments like these go viral. In the months that followed, McGraw and Clarkson both experienced a shift in their public personas. McGraw's fans rallied around him, praising his decision to stand up for his privacy, while Clarkson's fans appreciated her honesty and willingness to apologize. The incident, though uncomfortable, became a teaching moment for both celebrities and their audiences, reminding everyone of the importance of boundaries and mutual respect. McGraw's experience on The Kelly Clarkson Show may have been a difficult one, but it was also a reminder that public figures can assert control over their own narratives. It was a lesson about the importance of standing up for oneself, even when faced with tough situations. For many, his decision to walk off the set became an emblem of self-respect in an industry where boundaries are often blurred. Over time, the memory of McGraw's walk-off faded, but the conversation it sparked continued to reverberate. The incident became a case study in how celebrity interviews can go awry and the importance of understanding personal boundaries. For both McGraw and Clarkson, the experience was a reminder of the delicate balance required to navigate the pressures of fame. In the years that followed, The Kelly Clarkson Show and other talk shows adjusted their approach to interviewing celebrities, taking into account the lessons learned from McGraw's dramatic exit. Interviewers began to approach sensitive topics with more care, understanding that celebrities, despite their fame, deserve the same level of respect as anyone else. The clash between McGraw and Clarkson ultimately served as a reminder that even in an industry built on public exposure, personal boundaries should always be respected. The incident was a testament to the importance of self-care and the courage it takes to walk away from a situation that no longer serves one's well-being. In the end, Tim McGraw's walk-off was more than just a viral moment. It became a cultural touchstone, symbolizing the ongoing struggle between public scrutiny and personal privacy in the world of entertainment. The confrontation between McGraw and Clarkson, though brief, left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry, forever reminding everyone of the power of saying enough when the situation calls for it. As the story continued to unfold, discussions around the Tim McGraw walk-off reached new levels of intensity. Both McGraw and Clarkson found themselves at the center of a media storm, with various outlets analyzing every aspect of the confrontation. The clip of McGraw's exit quickly became one of the most viral moments in daytime television history. It wasn't just the walk-off itself that captivated audiences, it was the raw emotion and clear tension between the two celebrities that struck a chord with viewers. Many viewers, particularly those who supported McGraw, celebrated his ability to walk away from a situation that had become uncomfortable and invasive. They praised him for taking a stand against the personal questions that had been crossing the line. For some, McGraw's actions became a form of empowerment, an example of a public figure who refused to let his privacy be compromised for entertainment value. On the other hand, Clarkson's fans expressed disappointment over the way the interview had unfolded, especially given her typically empathetic and engaging nature. They felt that she had been caught up in the moment and that the questions she asked were more probing than usual. While some criticized her for overstepping, many others appreciated her ability to acknowledge her mistake and apologize afterward. Clarkson's handling of the aftermath displayed her humility, and fans admired her willingness to take responsibility for the situation. Industry insiders and media professionals began to reflect on the broader implications of the walk-off. The incident sparked a conversation about the power dynamics at play in celebrity interviews. Interviewers, particularly those who are popular and have significant influence, hold a unique responsibility to make sure that their guests feel comfortable and respected during interviews. McGraw's exit was seen as a wake-up call for talk show hosts and producers to be more mindful of the impact their questions can have on their guests, regardless of how public or well-known they may be. In the days that followed, both McGraw and Clarkson made appearances in public events and interviews. McGraw continued promoting his music, but there was a noticeable shift in the way he interacted with media. He was more guarded, speaking less about personal topics and focusing more on his work. Clarkson, on the other hand, found herself fielding questions about the incident, further emphasizing her regret over how things had played out. Some commentators noted that the walk-off reflected a deeper issue within the entertainment industry, the constant pressure on celebrities to share more and more of their personal lives. Talk shows and interviews often demand that celebrities reveal intimate details in exchange for publicity, but as McGraw's reactions showed, there are limits to how much anyone is willing to give. This incident contributed to the growing dialogue about the ethics of celebrity interviews and the need to reconsider the way those interactions are framed. The episode of The Kelly Clarkson Show that featured McGraw's walk-off became a landmark moment for daytime television. For producers, it was a reminder of how quickly an interview could veer off course, potentially causing irreparable damage to the guest-host relationship. There was also concern about how the viral nature of the incident would affect the show's public image. While Kelly Clarkson had always been known for her likability, this confrontation raised questions about how talk shows balance entertainment with respect. McGraw's exit, though dramatic, prompted broader discussions about boundaries, respect, and the nature of celebrity interactions. It wasn't just about the tension between McGraw and Clarkson, it became a larger metaphor for the struggles that celebrities face in trying to maintain some semblance of privacy in an increasingly invasive media environment. Celebrities, regardless of their fame, deserve to have their boundaries respected. The walk-off underscored the reality that these boundaries often become blurred in the pursuit of headlines. One of the lasting impacts of McGraw's decision to leave the interview was the attention it drew to the issue of consent in celebrity media. The incident ignited debates about whether celebrities should have more control over what topics are discussed during interviews. Many suggested that celebrities should be given the right to opt out of certain questions, especially when they involve sensitive personal matters. This conversation prompted talk show hosts and producers to reconsider how they approach these delicate subjects in the future. In a rare move, McGraw opened up about his feelings in a follow-up interview. While he did not get into specifics about his discomfort with the questions, he expressed his frustration with the assumption that celebrities must always engage with whatever topics are brought up. He emphasized the importance of respecting personal space, especially when it comes to discussing family and private matters. His comments resonated with many who felt that celebrities should be allowed to protect their privacy without being vilified for it. Clarkson's response to the incident also continued to evolve. In subsequent episodes of The Kelly Clarkson Show, she made an effort to be more mindful of her guests' comfort levels, particularly when it came to personal topics. Her apology to McGraw became a learning moment for both her and her audience, as she openly acknowledged the mistake and expressed a commitment to being more thoughtful in the future. This transparency only enhanced her relatability, as many viewers admired her for owning up to her missteps. Despite the media frenzy that followed, both McGraw and Clarkson eventually returned to their respective careers. McGraw's focus remained on his music, with new projects on the horizon, while Clarkson continued to thrive as a talk show host and music artist. The incident, while momentarily jarring, didn't define their careers. Instead, it became just another chapter in their already storied careers, a reminder of how the personal and professional aspects of celebrity life often collide in unexpected ways. Over time, the conversation around the walk-off faded, but the lessons it taught about celebrity privacy and respect remained embedded in the public discourse. Both McGraw and Clarkson found new ways to navigate their careers, armed with the knowledge that interviews can go sideways if boundaries are not respected. Their interactions, though temporarily strained, ultimately led to more thoughtful and respectful conversations about the limits of what celebrities should be expected to share. As years passed, the incident remained a defining moment in the evolution of celebrity interviews. It marked a shift in how audiences viewed celebrity privacy and the importance of boundaries in public life. McGraw's refusal to tolerate invasive questions became a symbol of empowerment, while Clarkson's willingness to reflect on the situation and apologize added an element of grace to the experience. In the long run, the Tim McGraw walk-off served as a turning point in how talk shows approached their celebrity guests. The entertainment industry had been thrust into a discussion about the ethics of interviews, and both fans and celebrities alike began to demand more control over the way their stories are told. For McGraw and Clarkson, the incident ultimately proved to be a defining moment in their careers, one that reminded them both of the importance of mutual respect and the power of saying no when necessary. The aftermath of the walk-off became a point of reflection for fans as well. The incident prompted many to think more critically about the ways in which the media consumes and commodifies celebrity lives. The question of where the line should be drawn between public and private personas continued to dominate discussions, making the Tim McGraw and Kelly Clarkson confrontation a key moment in the ongoing conversation about celebrity rights and media responsibility. As McGraw continued to perform and Clarkson continued to host, their respective fan bases remained loyal. Yet, the incident also brought new fans into the fold, with people admiring McGraw for standing up for his privacy and Clarkson for her genuine apology. The walk-off not only elevated McGraw's stature as an artist but also showcased his integrity as a person willing to set boundaries even in the face of public scrutiny. The incident also sparked renewed conversations about mental health in the celebrity world. McGraw's walk-off was seen as a form of self-preservation in a media environment that can often be overwhelming and intrusive. The situation highlighted the emotional toll that constant public exposure can take on celebrities, and how taking a step back can be a necessary act of self-care. As McGraw and Clarkson continued their careers, they remained symbols of resilience and professionalism. Their confrontation, while dramatic at the time, ultimately became a defining moment in the conversation about how celebrities are treated in the public eye. It was a reminder that, even in an industry driven by spectacle, human dignity and respect for boundaries should always come first. Ultimately, the Tim McGraw walk-off from The Kelly Clarkson Show served as a moment of reflection not just for the celebrities involved but for the entire media landscape. It reinforced the need for respectful interviews, clear boundaries, and a reminder that even public figures deserve privacy. The confrontation became more than just a viral moment, it was a catalyst for change, encouraging a shift in how celebrity interviews are approached from that point forward. As time went on, the Tim McGraw walk-off continued to serve as a reminder of how media interactions can shape public perceptions. Fans and industry professionals alike continued to reflect on the lasting implications of the confrontation. McGraw's decision to walk off set a new standard for how celebrities could assert their rights to privacy and control over their narratives. inspiring other public figures to consider the impact of invasive questions during interviews. The incident also had an impact on the way celebrities approached future media engagements. In the wake of McGraw's walk-off, many stars began to take more precautions before sitting down for interviews. Publicists, managers, and agents became more proactive in establishing boundaries with talk shows and interviewers. This shift marked the move toward a more controlled and respectful approach to managing a public image, with both celebrities and media outlets acknowledging the importance of mutual respect. Fans of both McGraw and Clarkson began to have more nuanced conversations about the responsibilities of talk show hosts. Clarkson, who had always been known for her empathy and likability, found herself in the position of a role model once again. Her public apology and willingness to own the situation resonated deeply with many, emphasizing that mistakes can be valuable learning experiences. Clarkson's growth as an interviewer was evident in the months that followed, as she became more mindful of the need to navigate sensitive topics with care. Behind the scenes, talk show producers and executives began to rethink how they crafted interviews with big-name celebrities. No longer would there be an assumption that stars would happily participate in a round of probing questions about their personal lives. The Tim McGraw walk-off made it clear that many celebrities are more protective of their privacy than fans and media outlets may realize, and interviewers needed to be prepared for such boundaries. This led to an increase in pre-interview discussions about sensitive topics, with stars given the opportunity to opt out of certain questions. The viral nature of McGraw's walk-off also sparked discussions about the role of social media in amplifying moments of conflict. Once McGraw's walk-off went viral, the incident became fodder for countless memes, commentary videos, and reaction pieces. As the video spread across platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, it raised questions about the impact of viral content on public figures. The internet's ability to instantly amplify both positive and negative moments forced both McGraw and Clarkson to confront how quickly a simple conversation could spiral into something far bigger than anticipated. In the aftermath, the incident sparked broader conversations about mental health and the entertainment industry. McGraw's walk-off, which was seen as an emotional reaction to uncomfortable questioning, brought attention to the psychological toll that being in the public eye can take on stars. Celebrities are often expected to share personal stories, sometimes at the expense of their mental well-being. The conversation around mental health and entertainment grew louder as McGraw's decision to walk away became a symbol of protecting one's emotional space. Tim McGraw's actions also led to a larger dialogue about toxic masculinity in celebrity culture. His decision to walk off rather than engage in a heated exchange was seen by many as a rejection of the stereotypical expectation that men, especially in the public eye, should constantly maintain a stoic, unflinching demeanor. Instead, McGraw's emotional response humanized him in the eyes of many viewers. It opened up space for men, both in the entertainment industry and beyond, to express vulnerability without being stigmatized. This shift in thinking highlighted the need for healthier expectations around how men are allowed to process emotions. In the wake of the walk-off, McGraw's popularity seemed to surge. Fans who appreciated his music and respected his career were also drawn to his personal values, which became more visible after the incident. The walk-off incident allowed McGraw to redefine his public persona, not just as a country music icon but also as someone who stands firm in his boundaries and values. His stance resonated with fans who admired his authenticity and unwavering commitment to protecting his personal life, reinforcing his status as a beloved and respected figure. Clarkson, on the other hand, found herself at the center of a wave of support from fans who appreciated her vulnerability. Although the walk-off had been a jarring moment for her, many applauded her maturity in addressing the situation head-on. The way she owned up to the tension between herself and McGraw spoke volumes about her emotional intelligence and her commitment to her relationship with her audience. Fans admired her honesty and, in the long run, the incident solidified her position as one of the most empathetic and relatable hosts on daytime television.